Hello, 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 everyone. How are y'all? How are you lovely people? Well, you know how this is. Every night, we start like this. We do the chill stream. And we're starting off with some chill music. We chill, we relax, set the mood. And after we get enough people and everything. Hey Tammy sis, how you doing, sweetheart? Just doing a chill stream right now until we get more people. So just sit back, enjoy, just relax. Hey Eli, brother. How you doing? Just chilling, relaxing right now. Till we get a few more people in here. Usually about until the end of the song. So. Oh, I know, brother. I understand. You did a good stream today, Eli. You did a really good stream today, brother. Thank you, Eli, brother. But tonight we're going to talk about bags. What to do, how to make it, what the best bag is for the best situation. Because not everybody knows what the best bag is for the best situation. And with bags, there's so many different multi-purpose bags. Alright, Tammy sis, thank you. I'll check it out here in a little while. I hope y'all are having a good chill night. Always, Eli, brother, always. I always support you, Eli. I always will support you, brother. You've been my brother from the start, Eli. Sorry, I'm driving right now, so trying to. It's a good night to drive. It's a good night to think everything out. But I got you, man. I got you, sis. That's understandable. So, anyways, there's the end of the song. Like I always say, play one song. I play one song, then we start the discussion. I just really hate repeating myself over and over and over for new people, you know? But, anyways, so bags. Bags, there is in the survival community, in the prepper community, stuff like that. There is different bags for different reasons. One that everybody knows is what's called a bug out bag. A bug out bag is for something, is a bag that's created for a situation that you cannot handle at your house or your apartment or anything. A bug out bag is meant for 72 hours, and it's supposed to get you by with enough food, enough water, and enough materials or items to help you survive in a certain circumstances. Um, food, water, shelter, stuff like that, where if you had to leave on foot, you would be able to pop a tent anywhere you need to be and still be able to survive, only somewhat. Um, that is the basic idea on a survival bag. Then you get bags like a get home bag. A get home bag is pretty much the exact same thing as a bug out bag, except for it is for a certain situation that hinders you, like a situation that hinders you from being able to drive home or whatever. Say an earthquake, a massive earthquake, something like that, that stops you from being able to get home by your car or vehicle or anything like that. A get home bag is also a 72-hour bag, because most people live outside the cities. They they live outside the cities and they need their car to get home, which, like people in Texas and everything, anywhere you go is usually about an hour to 2 hour drive from any major city to the outside cities. A 72-hour bag is a 3-day survival bag to help you get home. It's got food, it's got water, it's got shelter. The exact same thing, just a different name. You keep it in your car with you, and you use it for just that emergency only. Um, uh, hey, Cassie, sis. Hey, Deanna, my beautiful, lovely favorite cryptid. How you doing? Cassie, I want to thank you. I want to thank you so much for your oracle reading the other day for my cat. Because last night, my cat came home. She was in the woods and everything, living her best life. And she came home because she was hungry and she was scared. And I want to thank you. I want to thank you for that. You really helped me with your oracle reading, sis. If I could, I would hug you so much. Tammy. Well, here's the thing. In today's society, a handbag, like your purse, like for females, for women, a purse can be a survival kit. I mean, there is so many different bag sizes, you know, different purse styles, different things for different purposes. I mean, they even make a concealed carry handgun purse that literally has a area that you can put a handgun in it for females. Um, so if you feel more comfortable carrying a purse with you and having a small get home bag in it, then use that. You don't have to make a bag out of a specific, you don't have to make a survival kit or anything out of a specific bag. That's what we've done. We have, yeah, yeah, Deanna, yeah. I mean, it's one of, I mean, I don't know if anybody has a 511 store around them, but for a lot of females out there, go to 511. They have a lot of tactical, well, not, I hate using the term tactical, but they have a lot of essential items and everything that are converted to be able to be a multi-purpose bag for females, like the concealed carry weapon purse. They have they have a purse strap that actually has a thin blade inside of it, like it's called a hidden blade strap or something like that for self-defense purposes, everything like that. Hey, Tommy, how you doing? Good to see you. Oh yeah. See, like that's the thing that people don't understand. Right, Tammy. See, that's the thing that people don't understand, that we have glamorized in a survival community. But females have been always carrying God knows everything in their purse. Women carry everything but the kitchen sink. And sometimes they do carry a kitchen sink in their purse, you know? Like, y'all have food, you have medicine, you have band-aids, you have anything and everything in there that is considered a survival tool in your purse, even a nail file. And that's what I'm trying to say. Like, there is so many bags out there with different names, but they all serve the exact same purpose. A survival bag is something that you carry essential items needed. Oh, I know, Tammy. It's so different in other countries. You know, like you can't even carry a locking blade on you, and it can't be over a certain inch, you know, a certain size. There's too many rules and regulations in across the pond for stuff. Where like something like Texas, you know, Texas, we can carry any size blade that we want to. We can now open carry a gun on our side without a license or anything because of what's called the Patriot Act. Things things are changing in America way too fast. I mean, being 18 years old and carrying a 9mm on your side just because you can is not needed. You know what I mean? There's so many other ways that you can defend and protect yourself without pulling a gun. Right, Tammy. I got two Tammys. Oh no. Tammy is going to be the new Tammy, and TT is going to be my other Tammy. Don't don't think like that, TT. I mean, the rules and stuff are set for a reason. I mean, you know, it's so people don't go, crazy stupid or try to cut somebody or try to harm somebody. And see, like here in America, there's too many ways somebody can literally kill somebody else, you know? Because here in America, people don't see knives as tools. People see knives here in America as a weapon. But Texas recognizes knives as being a tool, a multifunctioning tool. You ain't got to call me sir, Tammy. You ain't got to call me sir. I'm Matt. Everybody knows me as Matt. But the thing is, you can have a get home bag, you can have a bug out bag. They are both the exact same thing. There's no sense in having 15 different bags for different reasons. I already discussed the bug out bag. I've already discussed the get home bag. Now we're going to more complex bags. Um, Complex bags. Okay. A complex bag is something called a inch bag. And inch is an acronym for I'm never coming home. It is a fully functioning bug out bag. It is more complex. It has a longer living circumstances in it. Where a bug out bag is only for 72 hours, a inch bag is meant to where you could literally leave your house and live in the wilderness or in a situation for over a year. Yeah, yeah, Tammy. If you can bash out a car window with it, if it has the oh, what is it called? The trident bars on it for self-defense purposes. I mean, if it's strong enough to bust out a car window, it's strong enough to crack a bone. Um, hey, Shelly sis, happy Thursday. How you doing? Yeah, Tammy. I mean, in the long run, the best bag to have is going to be an inch bag. It has everything in it. It has your full med kit. It has your full 3 days worth of clothes in it. It has a complete shelter system to where, like a 72-hour bag, you may have a mylar bivy tent or something that's only meant for 72 hours in it. Where an inch bag, you're actually preparing to be out in the woods. So you have a long term tent system in it, or a hammock system, something that is going to outlast 3 days. Um, Most people are going to hammock systems now instead of a tent system because it's lighter weight. You're able to also put it in trees and get up off the ground. Um, it'll also protect you from wildlife being out in the wilderness. Um, and it's versatile. Um, but then your cook system, your water system also is going to be in this inch bag. Um, Most people, like in a 72-hour bag, they're only going to pack something immediate like a life straw. A life straw will only do 100 gallons. In an inch bag, you're going to need something longer term. So you're going to put in something like a Catadine filter or a Sawyer Mini. Um, then, because Catadine can filter up to almost like 20 to 30,000 gallons. A Sawyer Mini filter can filter up to 100,000 gallons. Um, then also your cook system is going to be more effective, to boil water, to collect water, all that stuff because it's for longer term use. Um, it You make an inch bag as you would a secondary home. Um, they also call it a turtle back. Um, because turtles carry their home on their back in their shell. So the inch bag was in the beginning called a turtle shell, and now now they've turned the name of it to an inch bag. Um, that's the main priority bag that everybody needs. But if you're a prepper or a homesteader or something like that, where all your stuff is at home, you should never need any of these bags unless it truly is something where you have to leave your castle. It's better to bug in and shelter in than ever to leave your castle, to leave all the preps and storage that you have at your house. Um, then there's other bags. There is your day bag, which is also it's a day bag. It's also called a scout bag. It's for 1 day use. Um, it's more of a scavenger bag because you're just going to put bare minimum equipment in that. And maybe if you can't make it home before dark and you have to stay outside for the night. So you have just the basic equipment like a tarp, a knife, a multi-tool. But your main scout bag is for scavenging, for if a SHTF situation happens and you run out of a certain material and you have to go into town or you have to go into the city or something like that to scavenge for other materials. So that bag is not weighed down by anything that is useless that you don't need. So you can fill it up with items that you collect on your scavenge day. There's also the bushcrafting bag. Bushcrafting bags are pretty much a basic clamshell bag. It's a basic clamshell bag. Most people use a bushcrafting bag as a old war haversack. Like an old World War II haversack, something like that. And that is for your wild foraging. That is for going out into the wild, getting your wild edibles. You know, if you're able to have a slingshot, something like that, to where you can actually acquire game animals and you can stuff it in your bag and bring it home. But most people have glamorized bushcrafting as a weekend hobby, going out into the woods, trying to do whatever you can, build whatever you can out in the woods. That's not feasible in a real life survival situation because the calories and the carb like intake is too high. You're wasting too many calories, you're wasting too many carbs to build a wooden structure out in the middle of the woods, cutting down trees, building a lean-to, doing all this stuff. A real bushcrafting bag was pretty much like a scavenge bag. A scavenger bag is more for rural scavenging, where a bushcrafting bag is more for wilderness scavenging. Oh yeah, same here, Tammy. Oh yeah. Yeah, the tins are lightweight. The only bad thing about the tins is the limited space in them. Um, they are good. The tin idea is good for like a minor bug out bag, like a 72-hour bag, something like that, because it's a smaller quantity of items to use. And we all know that monetary items either run out, break, or we lose them. It's good for sorting out, making a fire kit, doing a tin for like char cloth, stuff like that. Um, they're good, or making like a small fishing kit out of, a small trap kit, something that's going to help you in the long run. I mean, well, that's going to be more compact and save a lot more space for you. But everybody has a different thing. Like I use the Altoid tins for a fire kit, fishing kit, trap kit, because they are lightweight. They do take up less space. Yeah, Tammy, that's good, sis. That's good. Hey, TT, we have talked over more complex single-use bags, except for the inch bag. The inch bag is the mother of all bags. That if you have to make any kind of bag, like I said, make the inch bag and keep it safe. Um, we talked about the two scavenging bags, one for bushcrafting, one for actual rules scavenging. All right, so your med kit bag. Everybody thinks, oh, they can throw a small little, minor cut, bruise, and pain med kit in there and be perfectly fine. And that's not true. It will help you in immediate need, but for long-term use, you are going to hurt yourself. And in an SHTF situation, there isn't going to be a hospital that you can go to. There isn't going to be clean, sanitary. You're not going to have a shower every day. You're not going to be clean. So, filth, grime, all this stuff, if you cut yourself, if you hurt yourself, and you just have a basic kit, and like a basic med kit, it may or may not clean your wound. And I mean, and then you have to worry about infection, fever, getting sick, gangrene, rotting flesh. But a full, what they call a doctor in a bag med kit, they are expensive, but nice. TT, nice. Yeah, that's a good price. But a doctor in a bag is like, well, they call it an infirmary in a bag. It has everything and anything that you need for every situation. Yes, it has limited stock in there, but that's why you have to be careful. And yes, they are heavy, they are expensive. But say you're out traipsing in the woods and everything, and your foot falls into a rabbit hole and you snap an ankle, you know, your basic little med kit with plasters or bandages or a roll of gauze is not going to help you put a splint on. It's not going to help you if, say, you're starving and you can't really think properly and you end up cutting cutting yourself deeply in your hand because your knife slipped off a piece of fat wood and went into your hand. A small little band-aid and some neosporin is not going to help that because your blade is already dirty. You are in nature. So you're going to have to clean that wound. And you can't just run off to a stream or a river or something like that, because there is small bugs. Let's just say there's bugs that can cause infections in your hand, and washing it out with that water and everything does not clean the wound, does not sanitize the wound. So you are going to need something that you can carry on you that actually will help you in those situations. May not happen every day, but there's some people, like my sister TT, that will lop off a finger or run a blade into her knee or something like that because she sneezed. So you are going to need a more dedicated med kit. There's also lightweight lightweight bags. There's military issued bags, stuff like that that you can turn into anything. There's the butt pack, that military soldiers use. There's an IFAC. You can literally buy IFACs from any Army surplus store. An IFAC is called an individual first aid kit. If you are going to make any kind of bag and you can't afford a, pharmacy in a bag or a physician in a bag, get an IFAC. An IFAC will carry everything that you need for an emergency situation, but you will only have very, very small quantities of that. It's good for a 72-hour bag, more likely a get home bag or a scouting bag or something like that. It's good to throw one of those in there because it's only for that one time that you need it. And when you do need it, you need it. Yeah, you can do that, Tammy. I mean, you can do that, TT. You can buy a basic first aid kit and add specific stuff to it that you need. But doing that takes time, money, effort, and a lot of people don't really have that much time to spend on it. You know, when they can just go and actually, because the money that you're going to spend piecing together a med kit, you could already spend that money and have a pharmacy in a bag, because the pharmacy in the bag, it doesn't just hold the basic materials. It holds splints. It holds um, like instant cool ice packs. It holds everything that you would need for any kind of situation. They even care. I mean, it even comes with like 6 Israeli bandages, and Israeli bandages by themselves can range from $10 to $50 just for one. Yeah, 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 TT. You let me know if you can find a pocket medic somewhere. I want one too. Oh, TT. I love you, sis. But we have glamorized too many bags that serve the exact same purpose. Um, all you really ever need is an inch bag and a get home bag. The get home bag is your 72-hour kit. It's to get you home, and it can also be considered a bug out bag. But the inch bag is your long term, I need to get the hell out. There's no sense in playing multiple, you know, different bag games because nobody has the time, the effort, or, the want to make 20 different bags and keep up to date on which bag has what. Nobody wants to keep up to date on, oh, did I change out my food or my rations or my MRE because it's out of date now? Or, you know, do I need to add more to it? Because your bags are always ever changing. There's no sense in having 20 bags that you are constantly guessing on what you need to do. Um, it's better for 2 bags, and you can spend an hour in each bag updating, sorting out, and always with your bags. When you make a bag, whether it's a get home bag or an inch bag, test your bag. Make a scenario to where you would have to be in that situation for the bag that you create. Say say you take a car ride 5 miles out from your house, okay? Or you have your significant other drop you off 5 miles away from your house, and see if you can walk that 5 miles back with that bag on, and also be in that situation to where you have to use the items in it. And always make sure that you understand what the items are that you put in. Make sure that you test these items and see how resilient they are. There's no sense in putting a knockoff Baco Laplander folding saw in your bag to process wood if you are in a city environment. If you are in the city and there's not that many trees, don't put a saw in there to process and cut tree branches or sticks. Don't, yes, you can make it multi-purpose. You can make it in any kind of situation, especially if it's a get home bag, because you never know when your car is going to break down. You never know when you're like, you could take the bus and say that the bus broke down. You have your get home bag. If you're 30 to 50 miles away from your home, you know. Hey, Bama, how you doing, brother? Yeah, just if you have to bug out, Bama, make it an inch bag, a bag that is more suited to a longer. Why is my dog back outside? Sorry, my dog's outside. See, I love the Laplander. I don't like the Silkies. The reason why I don't like the Silkies is because it cuts on the pull. It doesn't cut on the push. Where the Baco Laplander cuts on both push and pull. So a lot of people with the Silkies, and especially because the Silky blades have such a tempered carbon steel blade, that it's flexible and it's easy to break. So if you're sitting in a situation with a Silky saw, and say you haven't ate in 2 days, or you're rationing food and you only ate, a small biscuit today, the motor skills and the way that you think is going to affect that, and you're more likely to break something that is easier to break, where the Baco Laplander is stainless steel blade. Oh yeah, Tammy. Good job, TT. Good job. I knew you were so accident prone, sis. Yeah, yeah. The 72-hour bag, like I said, that's what all bug out bags and get home bags are based on, is a 72-hour pack. Um, and that's why the 511 made a 72-hour bag, and that 24-hour bag is like their scout bag. Um, it's one of those things. They have glamorized the term bug out too much. I mean, they have glamorized it, and not only terms in the name, but they have also glamorized it in the usage, and that's a selling point. Like 511. 511 never had a 72-hour bag or anything until just recently. Yes, you do, Tammy sis. Yes, you do. But let me let me put y'all on hold for a minute. Let me go deliver this Thai food to the wife because she wanted Thai food, and went out and spent $60 on Thai food. Food has gone up in price. Like the same meal used to be like $30, and now it's gone up $20. All right, I'll be right back. Give me 1 second. I will, Tammy. Say hi to them.
Hi.
Miss Star says hello, everyone. Yeah, they can hear you. There's just nobody else on chat. Just me. All right, give me a second. I'll be right back, everybody. Alrighty, I'm back. Oh, she said she's good. Thank you, Tammy. Bam, my brother. Thank you. Yeah, I got. She says hello, family. She's at work. She works from home and she's working right now, so she can't really talk to us. Like if if SHTF happens and everything, it's one of those. It's one of those situations. Nobody knows what's going to happen if it does. A lot of us are preppers, a lot of us are survivalists, a lot of us are whatever, you know. But the thing is we we don't know what we're prepping for in reality. We have an idea, we have a certain scenario that we believe that's going to happen. Each one of us has a different scenario that we're prepping for, that we are trying to survive from. Oh, thank you, Tammy. Thank you, TT sis. Yeah. It's always good to have a backup spot for a bug out. But there's some people that are not able to do that. They're not able to afford it. It's easier to be able to bug out in America than it is, say, like where Tammy Trot's from. Tammy Trot is across the water, and they can barely even go out into the woods by themselves without getting in trouble. Like, they have to actually ask permission to go out into the wilderness or to go on hiking trails or any of this stuff. It's different. Every every place in the world has different circumstances. That's why I try to relate to everyone on this channel.
because I try to look at it that not everybody is going to be able to have a bug out location. Not everybody is going to be able to leave their house or leave their apartment. So every situation has to be calculated. Every situation has to be recognized, you know? And also you have to look at like medical conditions too, like some people have children that are allergic to everything, that are that can get sick from the smallest thing. And you have to take that to into consideration too before you even plan what you're going to do. Um, if somebody is highly allergic to everything, they're not going to be able to go out into the wilderness. They are not going to be able to live out in the wilderness. So they're going to have to stay in the city. Um, there's some people that are that are in wheelchairs. They can't be, you know, going into the woods or anything like that with a wheelchair. Um, it comes up to certain situations. So if you don't have to bug out, if you have to take a good assessment of yourself before you know what you're going to do. If if you never once set foot out in the wilderness, don't bug out to the wilderness. Stay home. If if you've only ever been in the wilderness or in rural areas or stuff like that, don't go to the city because the city is going to confuse you more, especially if your boots on the ground in a rural environment, in a city environment. See, TT, that's what I'm talking about. Like stuff like that. Like Miss Star. Miss Star is highly, highly asthmatic. She can't be in the dirt and dust and in that kind of situation, 24/7. She just can't. That's why if anything happens, she's got to bug in and stay at the castle. She can't she can't go doing scouting missions. She can't go and forage in the woods. I mean, she can to a certain extent forage in the woods and everything, but she can't go long distances. Mm-hmm. Elderberry is amazing. It helps so much. But always self-assess yourself before the situation. Prepare your situation for your needs. Oh yeah, Tammy, you're across the water. Elderberry is y'all's, life source over there. But I tell that to everybody. I tell everybody to self-assess their body. That's good, TT. That's good, sis. I'm glad to hear that. It's one of those things. Not nobody. Yeah. Oh yeah, TT. Elderberry was used as the pretty much cure-all recipe for everything across the pond. And it does help. It does help a lot. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that, sis. But don't think, don't, don't believe that you're 50 years old and, I'm almost 40, so I don't have much room to talk, you know? Don't say you're going to be 50 years old and carrying 120-pound, you know, inch bag on your back 100+ miles. You're not going to do it unless you are literally training weight and that specific bag on you daily. That's why I tell people to make two bags, your inch bag and your get home bag, and train with this stuff. Because most people, they will make a bag and they'll just make the bag and they'll put it in a corner or put it in their closet and say, well, when time comes, when SHTF happens, I'm just going to grab that bag, put it on my back, and go. No, you're not. Because for one, you don't know what all's in that bag, especially if it's 5 or 10 years down the road. You don't remember what's in that bag. And also, the weight of that bag is going to be a major hindrance to you. Yes. Yes. Yes, Tammy. Also cedar pines and juniper berries. You can boil it into a tea, and that also helps with like chest congestion. It also helps you breathe better. It also does it helps with blood circulation too. But always have an idea of what you're going to put in a bag. Go out and do a mock situation. And I know it's hard. I know everybody has a normal life on top of work, on top of children, on top of just life in general. But, you know, one day out of the month, make one off day a training day for yourself and test everything that you have, every idea that you are thinking of. And that will show you if it can be done, if it's feasible, if it's worth doing. And you'll also know what stuff you need to keep and what stuff you need to take out. That can make things a whole lot lighter. That can make things a whole lot easier for you also. See, see, I told you, I told you, Tammy. Like TT's a fine example of what I'm talking about. Hey, CR brother, how you doing, brother? But always don't waste your time. Don't waste your time on making 100 bags. Make the 2 bags that you need, your inch bag and your get home bag. And like I said, always train with it. Test everything that you put into that bag, because you don't want to make a bag and 10 years later or 5 years later or hell even 6 months later you go to get that bag and you don't know where it's at. It's a now situation, and you know you made a bag, but say your wife or your husband or boyfriend moved that bag to a storage unit or moved it out into the garage or whatever. It that hinders you, that hurts you. Always keep a good idea where your stuff is, because you don't want to be in a situation where you have to literally get out of the area that you're at. Say there's a giant forest fire and that fire is coming towards your house. So you have to leave. You have to leave everything behind, and you can only take your inch bag, and it's nowhere to be found. The only thing you have to rely on now is going to be your get home bag, which is the smaller, more compact version that's only for 72 hours. Thank you, Tammy. Yeah, it's always keep track of everything, because you don't, like I said earlier, we are all preparing. We are all preparing for a specific situation, but we don't know, none of us know what is going to truly happen in an SHTF situation. It's all glorious fairy tale ideas that we are running through our minds, but the reality is a whole entire different harsh world than what we planned for, you know? And that's another thing. Plan your bag not for a specific situation. Plan your bag for every situation. Plan your bag for survival, not for specific things. Like human survival. That's what I say. Plan it for that you're going to go out into the woods and you're going to be able to live fine. You're going to have food, water, shelter. You're going to have everything that you need. You don't need any fancy specific items for whatever, you know. As long as you have the ways to boil water, to cook food, to have a place to sleep at night, a good change of clothes, and a way to keep up your hygiene. Think of it as everyday living that you're preparing for, but in a different scenario. Hey, Van City, how you doing? I mean, technically, yeah. Uh, yes, you are. I mean, all fairy tales were based on survival. I mean, look at Peter Pan. Look at Alice in Wonderland. Look at everything. All our stories from old were about survival, not, it was getting out of a situation. It was how do you overcome the situation that you were put in. Everything, everything that you read, everything that you watch is a form of survival. And that's what the idea of survival and prepping is preparing and taking care of yourself during an event that you cannot control. We don't talk about that. We don't talk about the meaning of the word survival. We don't we don't talk about the meaning of the word prepping. It's all the same mindset. It's just civilization that has put a name tag on different things. And the thing is if you plan for everything, you don't have to worry. But if you plan for one thing and not plan for other situations, you are screwing yourself. You literally are screwing yourself because you are not opening up to the other mindsets that need to be looked at and addressed. Say somebody's prepping for a nuclear disaster, all right? But they have an underground bunker, they have all this stuff and everything, and they are set up and prepared for it. But say that a earthquake or a tornado comes or a forest fire comes and destroys everything that they set up at their place. What did they do wrong? I'm asking the chat. What did they do wrong? Oh yeah, TT. Oh yeah. Right. Yeah, TT. They did not prepare for anything else. They prepared for one situation and they lost their whole entire setup because they did not prep or look out for natural disasters. So all that time, all that money, everything was wasted. And yeah, people say, oh, well, they can pick up the pieces and start again. Well, if they've been doing it for the last 20 years, it's hard to pick up those pieces and just restart overnight. You cannot, it's harder to restart from scratch than it is already pre-prepping for all those situations. Even though a situation like you know, a mass forest fire or an earthquake cannot be predicted, cannot be literally prepped for. But that stuff, that's when you need a secondary location. That's when you need an actual real bug out location, because at least at a bug out location, you would have backup preps and everything moved into that you could go there and start over anew. Right, right, TT. All those kids, everything, it would be coming. You could probably save maybe 25% of your stocks, of your preps, stuff like that, after a natural disaster that hits your place. Yeah, brother. I mean, you can almost rebuild if a lot of your stocks are not completely gone. But in doing so, with all that, you have to rebuild. You have to then get your eyes open that we are not we are not 100% safe. We are not 100% ready for every situation. And I can tell you that firsthand for myself. We're not. I'm not. I'm not ready for every single situation that can happen, but I can adapt to other minute situations that can happen. Right, CR. Everything takes time. You can't just like Rome. Rome wasn't built in a day. You know, that great quote. No civilization, nothing was built in a day. Even with knowledge, even with skills, even if you're able to scavenge a quarter of your stock back, you're looking at a quarter of stock of 20 years of prepping, 20 years of stockpiling gone. And now you only have 20% of your remaining stock left. You are already, you do have enough to start again, but you're hindered. And also, you start questioning everything else after something like that happens. You start to lose the will to want to continue because you have a mental breakdown. Everybody has a mental breakdown. Everybody just needs that one last straw to break the camel's back. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, brother. Right, TT. It's not just in the UK, sis. It's everywhere. Everywhere when bad weather occurs, people fear. People get scared. And none of us are a heartless machine. I've seen plenty of preppers in my lifetime. Well, they weren't preppers, but, you know, they were like homesteaders. They were people that were farmers and all this stuff. And when they see one year's crop come in that is a quarter the percentage of what it would normally bring in because of drought or bad weather or too many freezes to damage the crops, and they have only a quarter of their production come in. It hurts the morale. It hurts. And you start asking questions. Why did this happen? How are we going to survive? How are we going to live when we don't have enough resources? And it's the same thing with any prepper community. Any prepper that has actually been physically, that has actually went through the mental stress of losing all their stock, they start asking questions. They say, I put all this time, all this effort, all this money into all this stuff, and now it's all gone. What am I going to do now? I've seen Alaskan homesteaders that have that lost their will to continue on and leave and go back to the city and live the normal 9 to 5 life because they have money. With a job, they have money. They have an ability to get food. They don't have to take a chance on maybe not getting what they need to last the year. I've seen it with native tribes. I've seen it with the Cherokee that they did was rely on what they hunt throughout the year. And when they are not able to get any meat or anything to stock their freezers or stock their house with, they think they're cursed. They think that they are going to die because they don't have an everyday meal now. Yeah, yeah, TT. That's what I'm saying. Weather is changing. Weather is not the same as it was 20 years ago. Weather is bipolar now. And that's one of the major things that people do not look at when they're prepping. They do not look at that stuff. They don't look like I have a year-round garden, okay? And I have chickens, I have guinea pigs, I have rabbits. When the snow hit Texas last year, I could not get to my home. I could not drive to my home. We were stuck in the city in a hotel room. Even though I even though I took all the precautions and everything before we left to make sure my livestock and my garden and everything was taken care of, I still lost half of my livestock. I lost half of my chickens. I lost half of my guinea pigs. I lost half of my rabbits. I lost my whole entire bounty of my garden. And I had to restart from scratch on my garden. That hurts. That makes you question. It makes you scared coming back and seeing all of this done. TT, yeah. You don't know what real fear is until it hits you. You don't know. You start second guessing everything, but you also have to suck it up and continue on. You can't just give up. Hey, Christy sis, how you doing? But look at all look at all the good and look at all the bad. Look at the pros and the cons to every situation. Look at the pros and cons to every weather effect, because weather affects everything, not just humans. It affects everything. You can drown a plant with too much water. I mean, and say you have a garden and like what TT had, okay? TT had 3 storms hit in a week. All right. All that mass flooding, I mean, all that mass water, everything that saturates the ground, that can literally drown out any. If you had a garden, that could drown your whole entire garden out and kill it. Right, TT. It's one of those things. It is, we're not the only things that we have to worry about. Humans are not the only thing that you have to worry about. You have to worry about nature. Nature gives and nature takes. And more so than the other, nature always takes back what it needs. It will kill. It doesn't have emotions. It doesn't have humanity. Nature is an ever breathing cycle of chaos. Oh, nice, Christy. Good job. Even with a container garden, CR, it's still it's still susceptible to weather changes. You know, like my whole entire garden is on a greenhouse, and it's supposed to produce its own heat. It's supposed to be able to produce its own water, everything. But it's self-watering, when in the morning when the plants make their dew, it collects at the top of the greenhouse and it rains back down onto the plants. It's supposed to be a self-sustaining garden, a self-sustaining eco, uh, like ecosystem. Well, that's true. It does. It does. It is a self-contained ecosystem. But when too much rain or too much snow happens, it can't build enough heat inside of it to heat itself up. So you have to put heating lamps in it. You have to do all this stuff. You have to take care of it like it's a baby. I told you that, Christy. I told you that if you piss them off, they will attack. And never said that they were nice. They don't care about us. But if you piss them off, it's just like pissing off a human. They don't care about you. You don't have to do anything, Christy. You could just been in the wrong spot of the territory at the wrong time. It could have woke up on the wrong side of the boulder. Yeah. Yeah, CR. See, that's good. Like I don't live in a flood zone either, but we live in 100-year floodplain. So we get a lot of heavy rain. Yeah, localized flooding could occur at any moment, brother. Yeah, Christy, I don't know. Yeah, that too, Tammy. I mean, I mean, right now you got to think it's springtime. So a lot of creatures in nature are in mating season right now. You know, they're in mating season, and then they'll have their offspring in the beginning of summer. And you could have walked in on the wrong thing. You could have walked in on the wrong person trying to sway a girl. I mean, you don't literally have to do anything to piss off creatures. Yeah, I told you to be careful out there, Christy. I told you. I wasn't. Christy, I told you, sis. I told you to be careful out there. They don't care about us. They don't care about you. They're not going to be your friends. You never will expect it, sis. It's just like going to pet a dog. It could be wagging its tail and everything, and when you go to put your hand out to pet it, all of a sudden it's attacked you, you know? You can't ever judge. You can't ever judge it. Oh, TT. Snow is beautiful. You need to stop checking on them so much, sis. They're probably getting tired of it. It's kind of like, I know, but you got to respect the land. You got to you got to respect their territory like they respect yours, you know? What's up, Connor, brother? But the thing is the thing is survival, prepping. It's not just one thing. Well, yeah, Christy. I mean, they are animals. They wanna see what you're doing. It's just like when you go out and everything, you want to see what they're doing, correct? You want to know what they're doing. You want to keep track on them. Gotcha. Tabby. You gotta realize with creatures of the woods, it's a give and take relationship. You have They respect you, you respect them. They question us just like we question them. They want to understand us. You never know when you're constantly out in their territory. Because here's the thing with creatures in the wilderness, everything in that woods is their domain. It's the same thing if you're in Canada and there's a bull moose or a female moose. They don't give a shit who you are. They will charge you. They will run you over and kill you. Same thing with any other wildlife. If they can kill you, they will kill you. I know you live in it, but here's the thing, sis. It was their territory. It was their land before it was your land. You have to realize that. They are stuck in their ways. They don't, they're not human. They uh, they don't have a sense of boundaries. They don't look at a picket fence or a metal fence or anything. They don't look at a house as, oh, that's, what was that? But they don't look at a house as, oh, I shouldn't go there. All right, CR, brother. Here's the thing, you're the weaker of the species. You are not dominant. We are all easily able to be ripped in half or pop our head like a pimple. Always, sis. Like, if you're out in the woods, you are more likely, even a mountain lion will kill you and eat you and drag you up into a tree and leave your dead body there because that's how nature works. We are not safe anywhere. We are the weakest link in the food chain. The only thing that saves us is a gun. And even then, a gun doesn't protect us against everything. And edibles are dub. Yeah, you're lucky the mountain lion wasn't there. But here's the thing. Like what I was talking about before. Prepping situations, survival situations. There is always a situation, just like what Christy is talking about. If you're in the woods alone, there's always a situation of death around every corner. None of us are safe. There is too many what if scenarios that can happen at any moment. Yeah, pretty much, Tammy. I mean, that's what we are. We are a snack to them. That's why our ancestors almost put these natural predators into extinction, is because of these situations. And us warm-hearted, loving people and everything are like, oh, they're not dangerous, they're just animals. No, animals are always on survival. Animals survive day to day. If they are starving enough, if they are hungry enough, you are not going to be able to survive. Even the most skittish black bear, if hungry enough and if desperate enough, will attack and destroy a human. If you are in its territory, unless you catch it off guard and make it run, you have a 50-50 chance of it running away scared or turning around and saying, "Who the fuck are you?" and come and kill you. But always be aware of your surroundings. Always be aware of the situation that you're in. Because here's the thing, there's more to this world, there's more to nature than what's on the TV. There is more to animals. There's been stories of a mountain lion tracking a through trail. What, buddy? Rocket? But there's a story of a mountain lion that was tracking a through trail hiking group of 6 people through the Appalachian Trail. And this female mountain lion tracked them for over 10 miles and picked off the last remaining one that slowed down to take a break, a breather. And when he sat down on the log, the mountain lion attacked and killed him. And nobody knew until they got to the next town that was almost 100 miles away. You try to be as with natural predators, you want to stare them down, make yourself as big as possible, and make as much noise as possible. Like, not natural noises. I'm talking about unnatural noises. The more fear that you can create with natural predators to make them seem like you are stronger will scare them. But that also goes into the mindset, if they are just stalking you and seeing who you are, or if they're starving. If they are starving, there ain't nothing in this damn world that you can do to stop it from attacking you. Welcome back, CR brother. Right, Christy. Yeah, if they ain't got if they have cubs, they're not running at all. Or if they're in heat. I mean, if it's during mating season and you run up on a male, he's going to kill you because he thinks you are the animal will think that you are trying to get to the same female as he is. So he's going to turn and attack you because that's what they do. He thinks it's his female, but you're in the area. So you're an opponent to them. Right, Christy? Right, Tammy. I mean, you have, you have badgers and foxes and stuff like that. They are still considered predators, but not big predators. I mean, I've seen a badger on a video carrying a goat head on a walking trail in the UK, and it drops the goat head and it snarls up and gets on its hind legs because the dumbass on the trail stops and wants to videotape it. And it was protecting its food, you know? That goes to show you that animals are just like humans. Just because we don't have fur and we don't growl doesn't make us any different from each other. But just like a human that defends their territory, let me ask any of y'all, if somebody comes to your land, kicks in your door, and walks into your house and acting like it's their house, are you just going to sit there and let them, or are you going to defend your territory? Hey, Momo, how you doing, bro? I mean, are you just going to sit there and let somebody kick in your door and you're just going to sit there and not do anything and just let them walk around your territory? I know nobody in this chat will sit there and let that happen. But we expect animals to not attack us or not become territorial when we walk into their woods, when we do everything that we do to destroy their home. Right. And that's the same thing that that's the same mindset that these animals have to you. Come on, Chloe. Come on, old girl. There you go, baby. Get out of the way, Rocket. Sorry about that, Chloe. Shut up, Rocket. Quit hissing at her. I let Chloe in, and Rocket's being an asshole. Sorry. I thought I hit the mute button. Right. Right, TT. I mean, people don't understand how animals work. We have put ourselves at the top of the food chain for so long that we think animals should roll over and they're nothing to worry about. And that's BS. All these people that think they're going to run out into the woods and survive and be with Mother Nature and all this stuff, that ain't going to happen. You know, even to prove a point, there was a wildlife photographer, and he was literally called the king of the Kodiak. Like, he made friends with Kodiak bears in Alaska. Like, wild Kodiaks, he made friends with them. Hey, Ghost, how you doing, brother? But he went out to Alaska. He made friends with wild Kodiaks. Like, he was able to pet them and everything. And he was living out there with these Kodiak for almost 5 years. And he got arrogant. He got that. Oh, so do you, big boy. But he got arrogant. He thought that all these Kodiaks and everything were his best friends, and he was a Kodiak whisperer and all this stuff until they went to the salmon mating. And all these bears were eating salmon and catching salmon and everything, and he was out videotaping them. And one random Kodiak bear did not like his smell, did not like who he was, and he literally was hunted by that Kodiak bear and was killed and eaten by that Kodiak because we are human. We are stupid. So here's the thing. If you're in a wilderness survival situation, don't fuck around with animals because you're not going to come back if you do. Oh, good morning. Good morning, Momo. He was an asshole ghost. He just didn't like, he didn't just, that bear just didn't like the smell of that man's fancy cologne. You know, ghost, it's like, when you're walking down the street and everything and you smell, that college Chad walking down the street with his Axe cologne on. Who knew a yogi ate people? That that that's got to be fake, right, Ghost? Like Yogi the Bear would never eat people. They're only picnic baskets. Bears only eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. That's all they eat. That was great. That was great, Ghost. Right, CR. Yeah, you know, I'm just I'm tired of these glory hound people in prepping and homesteading and survival, whatever the fuck you want to call these, call us. Everybody thinks they're God's gift to nature. I, I, I just know that they went on a bear hunt and they killed like 4 or 5 bears that matched the same description that killed him. What, Rocket? I'll be in there in a minute. Damn cat. He wants me inside. Yeah, I don't know all the details of what happened, Ghost. All I know was what was told on like a 5-minute late night news stream about it. Yes. Did he confront the bear with a polyamorous, idea? Oh my goodness. The whole entire polyamorous bear hug. That was great, Ghost. That was great. The the bear felt oh my God. Unwanted sexual advantages. And he didn't have a PR meeting. He couldn't go and tell his boss about it. Right, Ghost. That's great. Oh, that's great, brother. Oh, I missed you, Ghost. How you feeling, brother? How you feeling, Ghost? I'm so glad you're back, Ghost. But I'm glad to hear that, brother. I'm glad to hear it. Bill Cosby Jr. Oh, he was offering peanut butter and jelly, just not in a sandwich format. He was giving him extra crunchy peanut butter. It was peanut but no bread. Oh yes. Oh. All right, I'll be in there. All right, family. The jelly comes after. That was great. Oh, don't mind me. Let me just put a roofie in this salmon for you. All right, everybody. I love you all. I got to get off of here. I got Miss Star needs me. It was wearing fishnet stockings now. Smeared eyeshadow. and and the lipstick smear. All right, everybody. Yeah, Miss Star's gonna need me and everything. I will, brother. You take care, CR, brother. All right. I love y'all, family. Y'all take care. Y'all have a great night or day. And I will talk to y'all tomorrow. Yeah, I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. After 11 o'clock tomorrow. So, I'm sorry, Ghost. I'm sorry, brother. I'll be on tomorrow. I'll be on tomorrow, bro. After 11. After 11 my time. Okay? Y'all take care, family. Love y'all. Bye. Bye, family. See y'all tomorrow. Bye. Good night, ghost.